Hello everyone, today in this video we'll fight against the atoms character of our world around us, and today we will try to answer the question, why do we as individuals and we as societies, regardless of our origin and geographical location, why do we need some principles and convictions that we are ready to defend and we are even ready to die for in the defense of these principles and convictions? I will tell you first, I will give you a very brief answer, and this very brief answer is, let's look what's happening now. If we don't have any principles and convictions we are ready to defend, we are ending up with 600 genders or 8,000 genders and other idiocies, and we deny the reality and destroy themselves. Look at the societies of Western Europe mainly, Canadian, East and West, East Coast, and to some extent South Korea and Japan also, nations that on the surface we don't see, but in practice young people rejected their own traditions, principles and convictions. That is why we are falling into the abyss, stop existing, but before we stop existing we are falling into madness. We need principles because life is constructed this way that there should be some limits and there are some rules we need to obey to exist and not to fall into the troubles. Because we need to remember, this is what I already mentioned on my channel many times, that in contrast to this, what we think about ourselves and what we would like to be, we are not rational beings, we are rationalizing beings, and this is a really fundamental difference, because we rationalize this what we do and this what we see. If we don't understand something or don't like, we always can, by using our brain, our reason, we always can find some justification that sounds logic. But is it enough when something sounds logic to be realistic, to be good, to be efficient? No. History gives us so many examples that theories that sounded logic led us to greatest crimes in the history. When one reads Capital of Karl Marx and other works of leftist thinkers, many of the things they wrote down, if we don't look at the entire context and human nature and so on, everything sounds logic. But why do we have later situation that these beautiful logic assumptions cannot be implemented into the reality? Why? Answer is simple, because it's really disconnected. We neglect the tradition, we neglect the experience of previous generations of all nations that were before us. We need to remember that in every environment, it applies to animals as well as to humans, there is always optimum of conditions that enables us proper functioning in the certain environments. If we go below or above this optimum, we have to bear the consequences. That is why there is always some spectrum of behaviors that are beneficial for us. There is this spectrum of behaviors that are neutral to us, and there is spectrum of behaviors that are harmful to us. And morality and other rules developed in any society are the set of principles and guidelines how to behave to make the society sustainable and how to make our life as much as possible useful for the society and for ourselves at the end of the day, because we are not isolated atoms, we live within the society. This is the fact. So we need to remember that we need morality, we need principles and convictions to avoid madness we have now, not to have later 600 genders. All the best, have a nice day, bye.